to Scrappin with Sheri. We are going to do virtual crop sketch number 3 today from the March 2025 virtual crop. And I have pulled some papers that I can't for the life of me tell you what collection they were from, but I do know all of these came in the same collection, which is very helpful to me. Now, in pulling them, I also wanted to add in a little green, and you'll see that in my pictures. So I pulled this piece of cardstock, and you can tell it's a scrap. It's a little messed up, but it works really well with the pictures, and it kind of picks up the green here, although that green is a touch brighter. And then I also found these borders from the old Welcome Home collection. So in looking at the sketch, you really only need one piece of paper here, one that you're going to cut these 2 pieces with, and then your 2 backgrounds. So these are the 2 I'm going to be cutting. I'm going to use this floral as the background, and I think I'm going to use these as the borders right here, but I still need a border on the outside edge, and I decided to play around with this newer floral ribbon punch, and I'm just going to punch one punch of this in this green because I'm going to cut it in half and use it as that scalloped edge along that border. Now I felt like this one would be a good one because in doing this I've got that wide middle piece that I can use to cut this in half, and I wanted to go ahead and cut this border before I pull out my 12-inch trimmer, and that'll make everything go a lot more quickly. So we've got all of our scraps here. Let me clean off my space, and then we'll be ready to pull our 12-inch trimmer and get all the other pieces cut. This one is a pretty straightforward page. I feel like there's not a lot of excess to it. And I'm not even going to add a whole lot of embellishments to this. I'm just going to let the pictures kind of stand alone. And by the way, if you know what that collection is, pop that in the comments to me. Let me know what you think it is. I think it's actually one that I won at an advisor retreat one time, but I don't know the name. All right, so this pattern is going to be my centerpiece, and for it, I need a 6x12 and a 4x12. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip that arm out and do the 6 and the 4. Now, if you are really good mathematically, you're already thinking, hey, you could cut those other 1-inch borders out of that. And I could, but I don't really want to use this plaid. Otherwise, I could cut those 2 1-inch borders out of the flip side and use that piece completely up. Now, for this other piece, we've got a 4x6 as well. I mean, a 4 and a 6, not a 4x6. This is not directional. So I need a 6-piece and a 4-piece. And there again, that's going to leave me enough that I could cut those borders out of it if I chose to. And that's kind of cute, but I really wanted to pull in the green, I think. But these are by 11. So we need to cut 1 inch off of the end of each of these. And I just stacked them together. We'll see how well that goes. All right. So that should be the cutting for now. And let's go ahead and piece these on our background papers. Now these background papers are very, very busy, much more so than I would normally use. But as I was kind of laying it out in my brain, I thought it looked okay. So we'll see. So I need a 6 there and a 4 there. It does help that I'm covering up a lot of this, I think. And then we do the opposite with these. We need the 6 over here and the 4 over here. And then that 1-inch strip goes between. And I'm going to actually just put that on the seam, I think. And then we'll need the little border on the outside edge. And that's what I cut. Well, that's not bad. I think my pictures are going to be what ties it all together. So let's go ahead and stick our papers down, and then we'll see if our pictures make it look beautiful. You know, I've worked so long without pictures, just designing pages, and it's been kind of hard for me to go back to putting pictures on as I design the pages. I do like pre-designed pages a whole lot, particularly when I have a whole new collection to work with. But in pulling my pictures out, it just takes me longer because I start trying to match colors or match patterns or something, and overall it just takes a lot longer that way. That background paper is just a touch bigger than the other paper in the pack. I'll probably have to trim a little of that off. Now my goal in this page, as you'll see in just a minute, was to match my granddaughter's dress. And that's why there's so much blue. But then we throw in her mom's green and a green jacket that she wore. And I just felt like I had to have a little bit of green too. And you'll see it really cuts your time in half if you can use stickers or border embellishments. And again, I'm on a mission to clean out my embellishment border binder. So I really liked that greenery, and it's not up against any of this, so I'm not feeling like it's a problem. And I'm gonna have to cut this down. I'm trying to cut it in a place that's less conspicuous, but I don't know that there's going to be one. And I'm just gonna add some repo tape along the back of this. And I'm going to slide this up under the edge of this paper. I just really want the ruffledy part to stick out. I don't want the whole thing. I think it just makes it look a little more delicate. I need to cut that down a little bit more. Okay. What do you think? So far, I like that outside edge. I'm not convinced I like this, though. I think that's almost too much in the middle. Let me stick this other one on, and then we'll see if we can fix that. And yes, I didn't cut that one down, but I'll stick it in there and then go back and cut it down. Probably would have been easier if I stuck this on the back of the paper, on the back of this piece of paper first, and then I could have trimmed it all together. So if you're not working along with me, you might want to try that option. Yeah, I like that green a lot better. Now let's see if we can even get this border off of here without tearing our paper all to pieces. Sometimes I get really lucky. There's one. Let's see if we can do it again. I think the problem was that green was not the exact same as this green, and so I didn't like the look of it. Now I think what I'm gonna have to do is take this off and I'll scoot it all over now to get a 1-inch border in the middle, because that's gonna take up some of this side space that's a little bit extra and still give me room for my photos. But before I do that, you know what, I could cut this as a 1/2 inch stripe instead of a 1 inch and just put it over the seams. Leave a little extra flower showing around the outside edge. I think we can make this work, y'all. Let's just innovate. That's what I'm doing. I'm innovating. And I'm just going to stick that right on the seam line of these two papers. Yeah, that's a lot prettier. Sure did want to use that sticker. But maybe I can find a spot for it soon. Now our sketch shows 3 pictures on this side, 4 on this side. And I did go ahead and develop mine with the white borders. But after developing them, I felt like I needed some more of that green in there. So let me show you what I've got. That one is going here. And I still have plenty of room, so I think we're good. They developed 2 pictures, a bigger and a smaller there, but I did 3 smallers. And then I put these 2 together here. I did this one a little bit smaller, and then this one. And these 2 I did not mat yet because I wasn't sure how much paper I was going to have left over, and I decided I better wait on that. So let me see. Now my paper is not quite big enough. So I'm going to do a little welding real quickly. Let me see if I can do it right here on this piece. Somebody had sent me the comment that they had never seen welding like that before. I do the welding all the time. I think that is one of the most wonderful ways to use up your paper scraps without having to pull a new sheet. And my problem with this was this green is something that was left over from a long time ago. I didn't have any more of it, but I really love the color of it. So it created a problem for me because I have to make it work with what I've got. And then I needed to weld this one as well. So I just butt my 2 pieces of paper up together, throw some tape on them, put my tape on my pictures, and stick it down, and then trim it back out. And because this is all I have left of this, I'll probably keep any piece that might be big enough to mat a picture, but I'm not going to keep all the little pieces. So let's get these stuck down, and then we'll see where we are for any embellishments. I did pull a couple of things that I'm not sure if they're going to work or not. I do have that piece left. All right, so over here, this one is kind of centered in the middle of this space. And there is a design here that's helping me line up some edges. Hopefully that design is exactly even and not crooked ways. I do like the fact that they've put the photo collections closer together rather than spacing them out. I do like my photos close. And then here we want this one kind of lined up side to side with that one. And because I didn't make a longer one here, I'm going to have some room. So I think I'm going to slide this one a little bit further over, kind of keeping it on the same line across. And for this, I could pull out my 0 centering ruler. And my paper has all kinds of bends in it, where it was in my scrap box. All right. And then they turned this one kind of sideways. I could do it like this. And I definitely want to do some journaling, but I've got a couple of spaces. I could do journaling here, or I could do journaling here. You see now why I wanted to add in the green, because my daughter's top was green, her little jacket's green. So we got a little bit of green in there. And they have a title here. I wanted to show you a couple of embellishment ideas that I pulled. I found this word beautiful that I thought was really cute. It's very monochromatic, which makes it kind of hard to show up unless I put it on a photo. And I'm not opposed to doing that in the least. I kind of like that. If I put it there, it's pretty. It just doesn't show up a whole ton. And then I also found this, was a little vellum thing. Giggles and curls, ribbons and bows. She's so adorable from her head to her toes. I thought that was kind of cute because I fixed her hair that morning for church. And you see her little toes there. I thought about putting that directly on some of this green. And this is an anonymous quote, so if I cut it down, it would fit exactly on that green. Now, Creative Memories does have vellum tape. I just want you to know that. I do not currently have any. So I've been debating how I'm going to stick this vellum on there. And there are a couple of ways to do it. One is to go ahead and matte behind this in white. And if you put that directly on white, you can use your regular tape on it. And it doesn't show, and it's really pretty that way. Another way is to use your repositionable tape. And you don't have to use a lot, especially if you're going to use page protectors. But I kind of dot my repositionable tape behind words so it doesn't show up quite as much. And there are some little dots that you may see through, but I don't think it shows up very much. And I have used my repositionable tape for vellum several different times. Now you can see some little dots there and there, but I think overall when you look at that, that's not the first thing you notice. So that really doesn't bother me. I'm just going to even that out a little bit. And I'm going to stick that right there. And then I still have a little bit of my green left that I can use when I do my journaling to make a matte box here or there. And this beautiful just gets lost there. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with that. But you'll see the picture at the beginning and the end of the video. And you will probably see this word beautiful on there somewhere. So look at the picture before and after the video to see the final product. But this is pretty close to done. And I love it. That is the March 2025 Virtual Crop Sketch number 3. And until next time, happy scrapping.